I hate Death Battle. I really, really do. I don't really like it. Mind you, I am debating, and right now I am debating whether or not I want to react to a few more of them. One, because I've been asked, actually that's really the number one reason. I've been asked, like, do you want to record more of them? And I just, mind you, my last video, which has, like, I believe about 1,000 views, which, isn't much for a lot of people. For me, that's a pretty decent amount. But that one has some very shitty comments under it. And some shitty ones that I deleted because, fuck you. So, I wanted to make, so if I did do more Death Battle, I wanted to bring up something really quick before then, so, I could always direct them to this video for that whole thing. Death Battle is shit. I'm sorry for the creators of it and all that stuff, but, like, I hate that stuff so much because, one, there's already crossing between different universes and all that stuff of what equals this or what equals to that and all this other stuff, and it's really, really stupid. Like, just for example, and again, harp on it, whatever, this is a big thing, whatever. Goku versus Superman. I do believe, like, one, I do believe Superman, like, definitely if you're going off of everything he can do and all that stuff, yes, he could definitely beat Goku. But, on that same note, too, Ki should count as a supernatural force. It isn't magic, because there is a difference between magic and Ki, I guess, but it is a supernatural force that not only mortals use, but gods use. So therefore, it should have the same effect as magic. Just in general, it should have the same effect as magic. Like Wonder Woman is a god, and the god of destruction is a god. Like, and I've been saying that since the very first Superman versus whatever battle. There's that out of the way. Another thing about it that I really don't, and again, like, there's a bunch of crossover things. Like in the last video, I had an issue with, like, them saying, like, oh yeah, like, and some people said, like, what was it? Last issue was like, oh yeah, Sage wouldn't be able to do anything because she would have no data, and like the data on the Titans, all that stuff came from the Starfall Islands. She's jacked into the Eggman system, and just, even if it's like, okay, no prep time beforehand, fine. You would still have, like, okay, during battle, you still have a super advanced AI who has access to the Eggnet and the internet. I think she could do a quick Google search in a millionth of a second to figure out Koopa, like, the Koopa and all this other shit. Look at some of the insane shit, like, a bunch of people can do together. Like, they found a terrorist organization group off of, like, video of, like, video of that, like, whatever they were doing at that, like, terrorist organization or whatever. But, like, off of the stars, the direction of the sun, and all this other shit. And they would track down exactly where the base was. Now imagine a super advanced AI that could do that millionth of a second. Like, yeah, no, Sage could immediately figure this out. And also there was the whole thing where, like, if Sage traps them in cyberspace, that the Koopas or whatever could just warp out. And I'm like, not if you catch them in a simulation that's constantly, you Diavolo them, or what was it from man, I can't remember what it is, from JoJo, the Golden Shower. That's not it. But, like, you have that go on for infinity. Sage could do that for infinity and just keep trapping them in multiple different universes over and over again in the cyberspace. Like, but, and then also there's other things on the sense of they break their own rules. Mind you, here's how I see this. One, if you're going to call it Superman versus Goku, it should be a composite of both Goku and Superman, of all their different iterations, all that stuff, which is done for Superman and Goku. But then in Bowser and Eggman, you only do the game ones. You should just name it Bowser versus Eggman game versions, or game Bowser versus game Eggman. Just naming it Bowser versus Eggman, it's not the characters as a collective of all their interpretations together formed into a composite of, like, the unanimous Eggman, unanimous Bowser. It is simply just their game versions, which, like, that's not all of them. That's a specific version of them. So just hit that it's a specific version of it. Don't put, and like, mind you, it's a very, very, like, clickbaity, I guess, to do it like that, where, like, you just have, Sonic versus Mario. But then, like, it's like, but really, it's only these two versions. Like, and mind you, like, some people in the last video were saying, like, oh, but in the beginning box, it says, it's only going to count for these versions and all this other shit. And it's like, it shouldn't be in the video. That shouldn't be where you find out, mind you. That should not be where you find out where this video is. It should be in the title. Or it should be in the title, or if they're able to give descriptions, like you can see before you click the video, it should be in that. Because as soon as you click the video, yeah, they got the view. They got the ad or two that you watched to then see the video, to then see that, oh, this isn't the video versions of the characters I wanted to see. Like, you understand how clickbaity shit that is? And mind you, that's technical bullshit. That's whatever. But the biggest bullshit of Death Battle is, the whole thing that they say, oh, well, out of thousands of simulation battles or whatever the hell, whatever, out of 100 battles, the person who won the most is the person who wins the death battle. You want me to show you why that's kind of bullshit? Like, really bullshit? And I can do that in, like, 2 simple versions, but I'm going to use some visual aids that are in front of me. All right. So if we're going to go into, let's say, the Sonic universe, Ian, I ask you, who is the strongest person in Sonic? Like, the strongest character, the best one, the guy who always wins. Some of you, 90% of you, gonna say Sonic. Because Sonic is the one who beats everyone. If I just say who's the strongest character, some of you might say Shadow, some of you might say Knuckles, a lot of you will say Super Sonic. Like, and here's the thing. By Death Battle standards, that's all bullshit. Sonic isn't the strongest Sonic the Hedgehog. Shadow isn't the strongest. Knuckles isn't the strongest. Shit. Not even Super Sonic. You know who's the strongest who's the strongest character in all of Sonic? Who's gotten the most wins out of every game, every version that he's ever appeared in. He is the one person who has gotten the most wins on every single character. Eggman. Eggman has won more times than Sonic has defeated him. And some of you all might be saying, that's bullshit. What do you mean? Like, that's bullshit. Eggman hasn't won. He's never won. Or maybe, he did win in Dark Chronicles, I guess. But, like, no, he's never won. Sonic's always beaten him. That's not true. You know how I know? Because you died playing the game. You died to a bad nick that you ran into. You fell into a death pit that on your way to him. You died billion different ways, whether it be drowning in a toxic oozing chemical plant, to a spike in Green Hill, to, I don't know, Radical Highway, you just flung yourself off the edge. You died every single time, and every single time that you died, that is a version of that character, of Sonic, of Shadow, of Knuckles, of Super Sonic, that lost to Eggman, who was the main bad guy of that game. So by Death Battle's ratios and all that other shit, of like the person who wins the most out of 100 or whatever, Eggman is the strongest character. Because he doesn't need to go super form. He doesn't need to go super form in any of his game appearances. Yeah, he gets the light form one, which even then, that's not really super form. That's a Phantom Ruby thing. Chaos form from Sonic Movie 2 is actually a super form for Eggman. Just saying. Or even more along the lines of the Prism version, which also people say, like, that's not actually Eggman. That's a construct created by the Chaos Council, which are a shattered version of Eggman. Different personality bits from him. But beside the point, Eggman is the strongest. And that goes for every other bad guy. Bowser, he's the strongest because he has killed Mario more times because you have died as Mario multiple times. And not only you, everyone who's ever played the games. So, mind you, let's say you did a clear run. You did a clear run, or you did the best run possible. You only died 5 times, 2 times. Hell, maybe you didn't die. Maybe you just sailed through the entire game and won. That one kid across the street, or that one dude over there, or that guy over there, or whatever, who picked up the game, played it a bit, and, landed in spikes, that's a dead Sonic. Got hit by a red shell, that's a dead Mario. Like, if we're going by Death Battle standard of, out of infinite amount or whatever bullshit, the bad guys are the strongest characters in the entire thing. Because that's the thing, and people like to complain about this shit in, movies and stuff. People say, there's no, the hero's always gonna win. The hero's always gonna win. They're always gonna, he didn't struggle and all this other shit. See, that's pretty much when you see something like that, and you see the hero wins at the end and all that stuff, that's pretty much the flawless run. That's the version of this story where everything happened precisely how it was needed. Precisely, they go, we're not gonna make it! And then the last second, they pull it off and they get through it. But there's an infinite amount of dimensions or timelines or whatever where that door slammed shut and they did not make it. And they went, we're not gonna... And they died. So, pretty much just summarize this real quick. Death Battle's stuff is garbage. And it's, hell, a lot of even power scaling. Mind you, if you like power scaling, that's fine. I do like doing that every so often. I honestly do think Shadow in his Doom form with his Doom wings is equivalent to Super Sonic. He's literally invincible. He can fly, and literally it's powered by chaos energy. Hell, Gerald tells Shadow, don't take those rings off, you're gonna fucking explode. I do, and mind you, Sonic has more time to train with Super, but anyways, that's a whole different story. But I do like power scaling every so often. But I also remember Stan Lee's wise words of, these are fictitious characters. Stop asking these boneheaded questions. The person who win is the person the writer wants to win. I'm paraphrasing very slightly. So, I'll even put the video up.
Dance Brants.
So one question I'm always asked. Who would win in a fight? There's one answer to all of that. It's so simple. Anyone should know this. The person who'd win in a fight is the person that the scriptwriter wants to win. The Thing from the Fantastic Four. And he gets into a big fight with Spider-Man. And millions of people out there say, who would win? Well, it depends on who I want to win if I'm writing the script. If I want Spider-Man to win, he'll win. If I want the Thing to win, he'll win. These are fictitious characters. The writer can do whatever he wants with them. So stop asking those bonehead questions, because I've had it with that.
Also, mind you, when I was coming here to get the video to record it, I kind of wanted to pop into the subscription, the comments real quick. And, let's see, where is it? Here it is. Just, and also for all you people saying, oh, Death Battle isn't about the writers, it's about whatever other bullshit. Yeah, no, covered that. Even that and not really as the battle with the writer or story involvement. In versus debate, we're actually looking for a winner, not what would make a cool story. Even that is determined by circumstances, which people have to set up. So there's still being a script, the writers in the end, and so on and so forth. But yeah, so back to the rest of the video. Maybe I did it, maybe I didn't, who knows. But you do. But yeah, so I don't like Death Battle. And also, again, there's the whole thing with, like, power-up. I completely forgot about that. Okay, so the whole thing is that, again, the characters have no setup or whatever bullshit. They have none of this shit. So Mario should never have power-ups. Eggman could have his arm. If you're going to have Eggman's army versus, Koopa, fine. But then neither of them should have any kind of power-ups. Eggman shouldn't have the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Bowser shouldn't have any stars or any extra power-up bullshit. None of his army should. But yeah, it's... Like I say, that goes for Sonic and all this other stuff. Mind you, it makes for a good fight. Yeah, cool, it's cool seeing Sonic turn super, but also that same note, like, if we're going with zero prep time, like, this is the equivalent of Goku versus Superman, which is a good example, I guess, for all this. Goku versus Superman, and Goku has the Dragon Balls, and just goes, yeah, I wish to become stronger. I wish to be Super Saiyan 5. Like, it's bullshit. I wish to have a second life, and then I come back after he kills me. Like, anyways. It's... Okay, so just to recap everything. Because in case I do more death battles and all this other stuff. I don't like death battle. If we're going by death battle's rules, which they break constantly or don't go with or whatever, if you're gonna... Eggman, Bowser, and every villain you've ever fought in a video game is the strongest character in all of it and would always win. And in a death battle, would be the winner regardless, no matter what. Oh wait, another thing too, I actually forgot to mention. If you can beat your godlike being bad guy or whatever who has godlike powers from, I don't know, a superstar or some other bullshit by throwing hammers at them or just jumping on their head, I don't think they're that strong. Just saying, especially when it's just two plumbers. Anyways, to recap. I don't like Death Battle. If we're going by Death Battle standard of 100 whatever, out of 100, who would win? Eggman wins, Bowser wins, every villain you've ever died to or lost to is the winner, and they are the strongest in that universe. They won the most battles. They won the most fights against the heroes. And mind you, they fought against the heroes who trained and prepared and, got power-ups and extra lives. Mind you, extra lives then, and they still died anyways. But, gained all these powers up, and they still lost. They still died. So, these guys are the strongest guys ever, per Death Battle's whole thing. And, power scaling is fun, but always follow the wise words of Stan Lee. The person who wins a fight is the person the writer wants to win. These are fictitious characters. Stop asking these boneheaded questions. But yeah, I'm sure there's more I could harp on, but this is 16 minutes of me to go on this. And you could say, oh my god, the salt and all this bullshit. I don't give a fuck. I do not care. I literally, again, going off of Death Battle's own rules, going off of Death Battle's own things. It's some of the most clickbaity shit to be like, because that's the thing too. Like, how many people have you gotten to it? Let's say if you did do power scale, how many people have gone to being like, oh well, death battle kind of all this other bullshit. And there's always a death battle. There's always some bullshit afterward. Like, okay, here's it. One more before we go. Green Lantern versus Ben 10. The whole thing was that, oh well, Hal could survive the world ending and all this other bullshit because of just pure willpower. One, Alien X was able to do that without needing to use any willpower. And also, Alien X, when they're asked, I don't know if they asked Dwayne McDuffie, or I can't remember who, or just Man of Action in general, but I remember they asked, like, could Alien X use magic? And their answer was, I think if I remember correctly, the answer was no, but then he could just rewrite the universe to where he could use magic. So couldn't he just rewrite the universe to where the Green Lantern Corps didn't exist? Like, it's not that Hal can survive. It's not Hal willpowering himself for a universe that's dying. It's Hal just not existing. Like, the battle's done. Anyways. In any case, I just want to throw that out there. I don't like Death Battle, but I will say this. I do like some of the... Actually, I'll say this. I do like the combat. I do like the fights, like animation, all that stuff. That all stuff is really great. It's the reasoning behind a lot of the bullshit that I'm like, no, shut up. That's it. In either case, thank you so much for watching. If you're going to leave hate comments down there, okay. If they're shitty insults, I'm going to delete them because I don't care. And, well, I do care in a sense that I don't want to cultivate that kind of community for my channel. And if you don't, and if you, if I delete your comment and you want to come back and post it again, do it. Go on ahead, do it. You're going to shoot up engagement. So you lose anyways, and I still win. And hey, I guess that makes me the winner of Death Battle. See ya.